Welcome to Kimbronator's NFL Picks, the ultimate playbook for your weekly NFL predictions. I'm your host, Kimbronator, along with Rowan here. We're here to break down the upcoming matchups, share some insights, and even sprinkle in a little bit of football magic on these Week 11 NFL picks. Last week, Week 10, was a crazy week, my friends. A lot of upsets happened last week. So let us dive in. Here we go, Rowan. Are you ready, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. So, first off, Thursday night ball game, Baltimore versus Cincinnati.
Finally got a good Thursday night matchup. Um,
I know, right? One of the few so far.
yeah. Um, I'm gonna go Cincinnati in this one. I think they are gonna bounce back after a rough loss to the Texans. You know, the offense played well. CJ Stroud just went off on them, but I think they'll bounce
Right.
back against Baltimore here.
All righty. You're going to go with Cincinnati. I'm going to go with Baltimore. They're playing at home. Baltimore came off that loss. Uh, I think they gotta redeem themselves here, so I'm going to go with Baltimore. Next up, Pittsburgh travels to Cleveland.
You know what? This just feels like a game that Pittsburgh's gonna pull out somehow. In all honesty, I think they are
Pittsburgh.
just gonna grind it out. You know,
They're grinding out, so you go with Pittsburgh. I've got to go with Cleveland's defense. I'm going to stick with Cleveland. Chicago at Detroit.
Detroit's gonna blow them out.
Detroit's going to blow them out.
Detroit's gonna blow them out.
Right on. I agree with you. I don't think Chicago stands. They can stand Detroit. I think Detroit will win easily. Next up, the Chargers go to Green Bay.
I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. I know both these teams lost this week and have been a little bit disappointing for some people. I just feel like I've seen more from the Chargers. I feel like I can trust them a little bit more than Green Bay, and it's in LA. Well, no, it's in Green
It's
Bay.
in Green Bay, yes.
Um, but I mean, it doesn't matter either way. It would be a home game for Green Bay if it was in LA. But um,
That's true. Very true. So, I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. I think they've got a lot to prove, so I'll stick with the Chargers as well. Next up, we got the last their two win streak of two for the Raiders go to Miami.
I've
Who
got
do you got?
Miami in this one.
You got Miami in this one.
I
It's gonna be a tough game. I think it'll be a closer game, but I agree with you. What do you think on it? Still,
It's just Miami. I just feel like the Raiders, they're going to come down back to earth eventually. They barely beat the Jets on Sunday Night Football.
Jets are
Going
weak.
going to Miami. Miami's off a bye. I mean, I think the Miami might blow them out. In all honesty, I mean, it could be a pretty bad game for the Raiders.
Well, if you look on Yahoo picks distribution, and it takes everybody's picks across the entire platform on the right hand side, you can see it. It's 97% of the people are picking Miami over the Raiders.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Alrighty, I'm gonna go with Miami as well. All right, the Giants versus the Commanders.
Now, the Washington Commanders. Don't get me wrong. They're a bad team. Ron Rivera is not
They,
a good coach. They sold at the trade deadline. They know, I don't think they think this team is going to contend for a minute. But New York might be the worst team in the league right now.
they're not their point production's really low.
I mean, I mean, I know they were playing Dallas last week, but man, they just look awful. And I don't know, these games between them two are usually still close, but I think Washington's going to take this one.
And they are playing at home. They played Seattle really close too, so I give the edge to Washington as well. Next up, the Cowboys travel to Carolina.
You know, this could be a trap game, in all honesty. You never know with a team like Carolina, especially with a team like Dallas, who has a tendency to drop a few every years. I mean, you saw what happened against the Cardinals, but
Right on.
I'm still gonna pick Dallas, assuming that they take care of business. Game honestly shouldn't be close, but
Right,
we'll see
right.
what happens.
Should not be. It should be an easy win for Dallas. I just like the odds. I'm going to stick with Dallas as well. This next one's a little bit more tricky though. Is Tennessee goes to Jacksonville.
I've got Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to be pretty hungry after that last game. Where
I know, right? And
a,
now they didn't even score a point.
they got eviscerated. I mean,
Well, they scored three, but
I
I
feel
mean,
like
come on.
they're going to take that frustration out on a fledgling Tennessee team, and I have a feeling it's not going to be very pretty.
I,
So
I'm going to go with Jacksonville too because I think Trevor Lawrence is upset because he spent most of his most of the game against the 49ers on his back, and I think he was sacked like 5 times. So and hurried out of the pocket like 11 or something like that from the stats I was reading of it. I didn't get to watch it, but some of the replays I saw, it did not look pretty for
it wasn't.
Jacksonville. Next up, Arizona goes to Houston. Houston's pretty hot right now.
I think they're going to stay hot. I think Houston's going to take that one fairly easily. In Houston, just C.J. Stroud, I trust him. Pretty much it.
Man, he's on something. He's on a good pace right now for sure. Next up, I've got Houston as well. I agree. So next up, we got Tampa Bay goes to San Francisco.
Tampa Bay, they've been kind of middling recently. I'm trying to remember who they played last week, but I just don't see them beating San Francisco. In all honesty, they beat Tennessee. I just don't see them beating San Francisco. I think San Francisco is just a way better team, better coach, better quarterback, pretty much better everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. San Francisco, they were back with a vengeance. Their defense looked really stellar against Jacksonville. They had 2 losses, went into bye week. They came back and they were like on fire. So they have something to prove. They were one of the top teams in the NFL and they were falling off the losses. So I'm gonna go with San Francisco as well. I think they're getting their feet back underneath them. They're getting everybody healthy. So San Francisco. Next up, the New York Jets go to Buffalo.
Well, the Jets I could see the Jets upsetting them here. However, I'm gonna pick Buffalo. They need this one badly. I mean, they're at
They do.
500 right now.
Yeah.
I
This
mean,
is this is a redemption time for Buffalo because they've fallen off. They were supposed to win. They should have won against the Broncos.
yeah.
But the mistakes cost them. The turnovers hurt them really bad. And come on, 12 men on the field. He misses the field goal. I mean, what a way to lose a game. I just can't get over that one. So I got Buffalo, and you got Buffalo as well. Los Angeles Rams go to Seattle. Or no, I'm sorry. Seattle goes to Los Angeles Rams. So far,
Won't really make a difference for the crowd,
it's still
but
a home game for Seattle, right?
yeah, I mean, but I got Seattle. Seattle. I mean, we're gonna have to put Seattle on fraud watch, I think. I mean, they've had some really weirdly close games or weird losses to some bad teams, but still, I got Seattle.
I agree with you. I got Seattle as well. Next up, Minnesota travels to Denver. I think this is actually going to be a closer game than we expect.
I think it's
Minnesota's
gonna be
playing good
very
ball.
close.
Denver surprisingly looked pretty sharp last night. So
And you know what? I think they're gonna continue to look sharp. I've got Denver finally stopping Josh Dobbs, kind of ending that streak. And getting back to 500, I think for the second time in the Russell Wilson era.
so you got Denver too. You got Denver, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna go against the odds too. Because the pick distribution for Yahoo is Minnesota is 67% chance. 67% more picks over Denver. I'm gonna go with Denver as well. We're gonna go against the spread. And then next up, Philadelphia travels to Kansas City.
Well,
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm kind of on my hater grind, if you know what I mean.
Hater grind of
So
the
I'm gonna go
Eagles.
with Kansas City. In all seriousness, no, though. I mean, Philadelphia got. I believe Dak Prescott is a great quarterback, but Philadelphia got carved up by Dak Prescott. I don't want to know what will happen to them when they play Patrick Mahomes.
And he doesn't have the flu anymore, and he's back
Yeah,
100%.
off
You know,
rested. Kelsey's healthy now.
everybody's healthy, so yeah, and they're playing at home too. So I agree with you. I got KC as well. Nice, nice, nice. Be sure to like and subscribe and turn on that bell notification whenever we go live on games, so you guys can be in there and hang out with us, chat along, and thank you. We'll see you later.